Chaos Gang, and welcome back to my bullshit. My name is Sybil, and today I'm here alone. If you want any of Allie or I's socials, they'll be down in the description below. So today I thought we could react to some people being scared of pronouns. And the reason I say scared is because no matter how much you try to educate these people on pronouns, no matter how much you try to have empathetic conversation with these people about pronouns, no matter how patient you are with these people about pronouns, they just seem so scared to use the correct ones for people. Like they avoid them like the plague. Before we get into this, I do have some more positive videos coming because I know some of y'all prefer those over these, and I know some people prefer these over those. But with that being said, let's get into it. Imagine getting upset about people having pronouns. Imagine getting home from the day, grabbing your phone, and making a TikTok about how much you hate somebody's pronouns. Imagine feeling better about somebody based on what pronouns you use.
Fuck the days.
Really got him with that one, buddy.
I don't care.
But you do care. You do care so much that you have to tell the internet how much you care. It would be easier to just call somebody their correct pronouns than get on your phone, find the correct audio, set up the timer, do your makeup, sit in your bed, and make that TikTok. It would have been easier. You would have cared less to just use somebody's correct pronouns. And something that I found is all of these people, once again, common theme, have the same joke.
We do not care.
Do you not care? Do you really not care? Because what I see is probably 30 minutes taken to not only make this TikTok, get it right, feel cute about yourself while you do it, get the dance on beat, and type out all those little thingies. My pronouns are they, them. I voted for Biden. I'm a liberal. I identify as a fairy princess. I'm non-binary. We don't care, but you do. Another thing is I just never understand how this affects people to the point where they're upset enough to go on and make a TikTok about it. Somebody asked you to use the correct pronouns and you got so upset you went, I don't care. I don't care. So which one of you stole the trend from who, by the way? I'm not gonna lie, I found so many videos of people using that audio for the same exact trend, like the they them pronoun. I guess over on conservative straight TikTok, using that audio to they them pronouns is like a thing.
No one cares about your stupid pronouns. He, him, her, they, them. I don't understand.
Pronouns are dumb. Stop using them, please. I don't know how to tell you this, but everybody in this world has pronouns. Now this one I feel like is probably obviously a troll account and that's their entire purpose, but this is a genuine argument that people have against pronouns, that they're dumb and that we shouldn't use them.
What's one thing that you can say that'll trigger an entire generation?
No one gives a fuck about your pronouns.
Here's an example. Nobody gives a fuck about your pronouns until everybody in her life starts calling her him. Then I'm sure she'd suddenly have a problem with it, right? If one day everybody just woke up and started referring to her as a man, as he, him, I feel like she'd probably care a little bit more than she's saying she cares. You know what I mean? Oh no, it's the fucking caption for me. Pronouns are so fucking stupid and ridiculous. With fucking, of course, censored because she's scared of getting her video taken down. You are not a special snowflake. Fuck your pronouns. Stupid. Yeah, fuck pronouns. We should all just go silent. We should never refer to one another. Ever. Oh, I will always say this. If you are going on TikTok to make a video about how upset you are about people having pronouns, you might be the snowflake. I know, I know. Don't get upset, don't get upset, don't get upset. But you know, you might wanna look in a mirror. You might wanna look at yourself. Seems you're a little upset, okay? So we're gonna take a nap. We're gonna take 5, and we'll come back to it, okay? Is that okay?
She thinks that I owe her an apology. Good thing she don't get paid for thinking.
When the liberal they them gets offended by truth over facts. Wait, when the liberal they them gets offended by truth over facts, I don't know if you realize what you just said, Maddie. You said that your truth is over facts. You might want to reread how you wrote that. Because right now, you're saying what you believe to be truth is over what we know to be actual fact. So therefore, when professors all around the world are talking about how gender is a construct and trans people actually exist and how that's fact, you are saying, but that's not my truth. Good thing you don't get paid for thinking, huh?
I'm like, she's the one this whole time.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
And why are you upset? When I see another person from my liberal high school I went to Cali come out as LGBTQIA+, oh boy. We know exactly what Morgan is saying here because she was great enough to put it in the bio, indoctrination. These people don't know a single thing about what it's like to grow up LGBTQ+, I swear to God. Y'all will call it indoctrination that more people are coming out because they feel safe. In 1969, the Stonewall riots were happening. People were dying for being queer and still are. 2021 was the deadliest year worldwide for trans people. But like, yeah, things socially in the US are slowly becoming more accepting. Pretty ironic that right after I record this video, Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas says he wants to look at overturning same-sex marriage in the US. What a week. So therefore, more people are feeling safe to come out instead of living their entire life in the closet. And instead of being like, oh, that's awesome that people feel safe being themselves or safer, you turn around and flip it with, you're just making everybody gay. You're making everybody queer. Despite the fact that in a lot of states in the US, you can force your child to go to conversion therapy. The fact that conversion therapy is even legal, that, my friend, is indoctrination. And it's not the queer people doing it to the straight people, it's the straight people doing it to the queer people. Y'all will see one show come out that has gay people and be like, oh my God, no, no. Instead of stop and think about the fact that your entire life has been filled with straight cis people. But, oh lordy, if we get a couple fucking things. Also, you mentioned Cali. California, in general, is a very accepting state, has a lot of LGBTQ+ protections, so yes, people in California are probably more likely to come out, but here you are, trying to flip it and reverse it so you can get a couple views, despite being wrong.
Oh my God, hey girl, what's up? It's so nice to see you again. Excuse me? Did you just call me girly? My pronouns are he and they. Don't call me anything else. That's just so fucking rude. Oh my God, so sorry. My mistake. I actually have pronouns too. Mine are vaccinated. Okay, now you're just being really disrespectful. You cannot make up fake pronouns. You can't just identify as whatever you feel like. It just doesn't work like that. Okay, so let me get something straight. You're identifying
This is so stupid. I'm gonna let it finish, but I already found the flaw.
as a he and a they because that's how you feel mentally and physically, I guess, even though you're in the body of a female. Why can't I identify as vaccinated then if that's how I feel mentally? Identify as vaccinated. You can't feel that mentally. I feel that I am a he and a they, so that's what I'm identifying as. Even though I have a female body, I'm a he. Educate yourself. In my head, I mentally feel that I'm vaccinated. Even though I haven't gotten the shot or anything, I still feel that I'm vaccinated, and that's how I identify. How's that any different? You just can't identify as something you're not. That's just so disrespectful to our community. Go fuck yourself.
This has 50,000 likes, by the way. Just gonna say that real quick. I know that what I'm about to say is really scary for you. What's your name? What's your name? Gabby? It's gonna be really scary for you, Gabby. Gender is a social construct. Wait. I know what you're saying. No, it's not. Open a sociology book. You know what? I'll do you one better. I'll go ahead and throw my college sociology book onto the screen for you. There you go, Gabby. Now that we see that professors and peer-reviewed scholars believe that gender is a social construct, now that we broke that part down, now that we're on the same page there, you're probably not about that already and going off about how like, fake news, fake science. Probably, but let's say you're not. Let's continue the conversation as if you're not. So you keep referring to the other person as a he, they. First of all, he and they are pronouns. You are not a he, they. You could identify as a woman and still use they, them pronouns if that just sounds jazzy to you.
You like jazz?
I know, you're upset because I said feel right, but let me continue. Now, Gabby, I challenge you to ask yourself, you are a cis woman. You know, I can only assume based on the fact you're shitting on trans people right now, right? So we'll assume that. I'm assuming you feel like a woman. You want people to call you a woman. You want to use she, her pronouns. I assume that's what you want, considering that's what you're doing and you're shitting on trans people. Now imagine everything I just said, how you feel about your pronouns, how you feel about your name, how you feel about people socially seeing you. Imagine if you were born in the other body. You're like, I want to be seen as this because that's how I feel. That's how I feel comfortable. That's how I feel good about myself, and that's who I am. Do you see? Do you see right there? Now, wouldn't the world be better if you could just help people feel comfortable in how they identify? If you could just be like, oh, what's up, my guy? Instead of, hey, girly, let's argue about how you exist and how I hate how you exist. It's so simple, yet so difficult for you to understand. And it's not because it's literally a difficult subject to understand, it's because you refuse to. Now going to the vaccination. I feel vaccinated. Being vaccinated is not a feeling. There is no disconnect between brain and body, between body and social. There is no feeling behind being vaccinated. Oh my god, it's so stupid that I even have to explain this, because I feel like she's aware. She knows. She knows that there's a difference between a literal vaccination and the existence of trans people. She's trying to use a gotcha straw man moment by being like, well, I feel vaccinated, despite feeling vaccinated isn't a real feeling. It's like a literal physical thing you get done versus something that has in-depth scholarly research done. We've literally created gender-affirming care because of how many people are trans. And if you literally just took 5 minutes out of your fucking day to do some research and actually care about others, you'd be able to see it. It's almost ridiculous that I'm sitting here and doing this and entertaining this because she knows the difference. Whether she believes in trans people or not, she knows the difference between what we're talking to, a literal human being versus a vaccination. But I hope the views were worth it. I hope you feel really smart. I hope you feel like you got a gotcha moment, despite it being one of the worst and dumbest arguments I have heard. So just when I think I'm done with this girl, I go to the video to download it and I check the comments just because, and I see her saying that she supports trans people while also making the most transphobic remarks. I see you in the comments saying you're okay with trans people, you're clearly not, you're cis, don't be telling people what pronouns they can use. She responds, how am I telling them what pronouns they can use? LOL. If they actually want to go through the change, I'll call them that, but not for attention. First of all, as a cis person, you're making a video making fun of people who use he, they pronouns, so you are telling people that they shouldn't use that because they're dumb and not real. That's like the whole point of your video. And you know that, you're just backtracking because people called you out. On top of that, I know you're transphobic and know nothing about this topic because you call it the change. For trans people that do choose to medically transition, there are so many procedures. For instance, hormone therapy, may go through top surgery, may go through bottom surgery, may go through hysterectomies, and all of these different things. Do they have to go through all of that for you to respect them? They need to go through so many different surgeries and hormone replacement just for you to say, yeah, they went through the change, so we're all good. Not to mention, some trans people physically cannot transition through surgeries or even hormone replacement due to liver issues or other medical issues where they couldn't recover fine from surgery. On top of that, some trans people choose not to medically transition because social transition is enough for them. So to sit here and say the change, it shows me how uneducated you are. And as a cis person, you putting yourself into that space, and as a cis person, making fun of he, they pronouns, putting yourself in trans spaces, and then being upset when people call out how that's transphobic and saying you're not with a transphobic response. Gabby is a mess. Gabby, you are a mess. All right, we'll watch one more video before we read a couple comments. POV, you have pronouns in your bio. Once again, you have pronouns. It's really awesome if you know your pronouns to put them in your bio. I'm not quite sure of mine, which is the only reason they're not in my bio. I'm still playing around, still getting the feel, and that's fine. But if you do know them, yeah, put them in your bio. It not only helps trans people, but it helps other people just know your pronouns right off the bat. Even if you're like a cis woman and you still go by she, her, yeah, you can throw them in your bio. Doesn't hurt anybody, helps other people out, cool. This video is just like, why are you upset about it? It's like when you get into an argument with somebody and they're like, LOL, you have pronouns in your bio, as if it's negative to have pronouns. But the reason I really liked this one is because of his comment section and how he responded to them. So it's gonna show a different username. For some reason, when I downloaded the video, it comes up with the I come for fun username, but I guess he probably changed it since then because it's the YB is ass one. But people commented, and let's just look at some of them. She's speaking facts. How original. Guys, don't be mad, she's right. Wow, that was really original. They're so right, like listen to her, bro. Very original. And I think it's hilarious that he's obviously getting upset, right? Because he's responding to all of these comments, being like, wow, original, wow, that's so funny, you're original, wow, original dead. He's clearly upset that people didn't use his correct pronouns. And so it almost makes you wonder, is that how trans people might feel? Is that how people who use any pronoun other than ones that align with their birth gender, is that maybe how they feel? And on top of that, I think it's ironic that he's responding how original to all the comments when we just saw how none of those pronoun videos are really original. All right, let's see what else we have. He, it is a guy talking. The singular they exists. You can just say you didn't pass second grade. I didn't pass second grade because I don't live in your fairy tale. We use they if we don't know who somebody is talking about. Singular use of they, them in reference to somebody used in written times.
1300s.
But that's the first time it's been written, right? And it's also important to remember that written knowledge means when it was written. Before things are even written down, they have to come into existence first, which means that the singular use of they pronouns as a pronoun has probably been used for literally thousands of years. So that's why I always find it funny when people try to talk about it like it's so recent and like, oh my God, you're just making things up. Like, oh my God, what? No, it has existed. And there's proof of that. And when presented with that proof, you know what people usually say? Not real, fake facts. Ooh, these are my favorite arguments. No, it just doesn't make any grammatical sense. Example, they are going to they park. Today is of many people. You're gonna tell me that you care about grammar. The person that just wrote this sentence, not knowing how to properly use they, them pronouns, you're gonna tell me that their argument is grammar? Are you trying to say they are going to the park today with many people? But it always gets me when it'll be like the people who clearly don't care about grammar in their entire comment, but saying that they won't use they, them because it's not proper grammar, even though once again it's existed. We've already established that. We've already established gender is a social construct. We've already established these things. And now we move on to the grammar arguments of people who clearly don't actually care about grammar. You just want to be transphobic. They as a singular has not been grammatically accepted until recent years, though it's been used, so have other nonsense words. Once again, your grammar in this sentence is not correct in the first place. So the fact that you're saying you care about they, them, when you won't even use proper grammar, shows me right there that you don't actually care about the grammar part. Also, we already talked about how it's not a very recent thing, but I do need to mention, even if it was a recent thing, words are changing all the time. Like this person refers to it as other nonsense words. How do you think language exists? Everything is a nonsense word that we put sense to. Floor. Those are just sounds until we decided what it meant. That's why there's so many different languages, because other people in different areas in different societies made up their language how they saw fit. All right, we'll do one more. So somebody referred to this dog with they, them pronouns in a comment, and somebody felt really upset and offended by the fact that this person used they, them pronouns for this random dog online and responded with, are you scared of assuming a dog's gender? I just use they, them for most everyone. Kinda in context of, yo, they just pissed on the floor and I got shit for it. Why? Or you could say your dog pissed on the floor, or realize what sex it was based on how it peed, but maybe the dog is non-binary, right? Why are you reading so much into how this dog urinates? That's fucking weird. Why would somebody stop and watch how a dog's pissing and then try to deduct what sex they are based off of how they just pissed? I mean, everyone forget the word they can be used for everyone and not just non-binary people. That right there is so fucking true. When I used to work at my old job, somebody left their wallet, and so I brought it to my other coworker and I said, hey, they left their wallet here, so if they come back in, let me know and I'll give it to them. Boom. So easy. And another thing is, like, if they, them isn't easy to you, just practice. If you know you have a friend that uses they, them pronouns, make sure you're using they, them when you're talking to everyone else about that person. I mean, otherwise, of course, you're just misgendering them behind their back. But like, it's genuinely a way to practice when you're talking about them. Make sure you use their pronouns and correct yourself if you fuck up, even if it's in private. Boom, basic respect and an easy way to learn how to use them. You could even write it down. Write it down in sentences if that helps. The problem is too many people just aren't empathetic enough. They just don't care enough. And that sucks, and it's ass. And I wish people cared a little bit more about others. There's a lot more, but honestly, what I've found is it's all the fucking same, right? The same three arguments. Either they're just straight up transphobic, so they don't care. They say that there's no science behind it, despite there being literal science and research behind it. Or they say it's not grammatically correct, despite it being grammatically correct. Or, fourth one, they say that it's made up recent, which it's not recent, and also all of language is made up Get over it, buddy. But with all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. I genuinely appreciate it. Like I said earlier, if you want any of my socials, they'll be down in the description below. I think Allie has some tarot readings left, so those will be in the description below as well. And yeah, do you want to see something cool? If I take my phone case and put it up against the screen, it looks like I said, bye. I hated that. I'm reading, bye. Yeah, that was better. That was better.